right, so let's look at the three parts of an improvisation. So obviously, I mean, for any story, anything, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end, okay? But there are certain things that should happen during these three parts of an improvisation. So for the beginning of the improvisation, we should be able to kind of tell what happened prior to your scene, okay? Also, in the beginning of the improvisation, the characters should be introduced, okay? Also, the setting should be established, and the conflict or the problem is being set up, okay? So all those things happen within like the first 2 minutes, or minute, I should say, of the improvisation. All right, so as you get to the middle of the improvisation, the problem becomes more complicated, okay? Characters, their needs and their wants are starting to be revealed. And then at the end of the improvisation, obviously the problem or the conflict is solved, and you find a natural way to bring the scene to an end. All right, and you're going to get a lot of experience today. You're going to do a lot of acting, a lot of scene work today with improvisations. All right, so you guys watch, I'm sure, Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
And you see how exceptionally talented they are in performing improvisations. And you're like, oh my gosh, how are they able to just think like that in the spur of the moment and stay within the moment? So because they use certain guidelines. So if I just want to briefly go over the guidelines with you, because you should be incorporating those guidelines today when we perform our scenes today. All right, so before you begin the scene, decide what it is that you want. Every character has an objective, some goal that they are trying to reach in the scene. All right, so decide what it is that you want and what is your relationship to the other characters in the scene. All right, if you have a hard time, let's just say you know you have to play a stern principal. If you have a hard time with doing that, draw on real life experiences. Draw on some people that you may have come across in an educational setting. Maybe your aunt is a principal and she was real stern. So draw on real life situations to help you create that character. All right, the next thing is once you've established the character in your mind, you have to find a way to effectively communicate that character to the audience. You guys that just did this improvisational singing, excellent. Where's my man that threw that chair? That's exactly what they would be doing in heavy metal. I don't think there was one person that performed that genre that if we hadn't told you out loud in front of everybody else what your genre was, I don't think there's one person that we could not have figured out what it was. So you've got to find a way to communicate your character to the audience, okay? Think about, and I said this to you when you were up here, I said think about how your body should move. How should you sit? How should you stand? What hand gestures should you be doing? What body movements? How should your voice sound? So these are all the things that you are going to use. What should your face look like as you're performing? These are all the tools that you're going to use to communicate your character to the audience. All right, 3, important. I know it's hard because it can be really, really funny. And even on Whose Line Anyway, they will break character. They get to laughing, but try not to break character. Try to stay in the character the whole time. And breaking character is anytime you do something inconsistent with who your character is or what's going on in the scene. Okay? 4, begin your dialogue with enthusiasm. Be confident about it. 5, it doesn't matter in a scene who talks first. Somebody just needs to go. And the scene needs to keep flowing. There should not be awkward amount of silence. And I'm going to tell you how to avoid awkward amount of silence. All right. Avoid saying phrases, and I'm on 8 like no. Okay. So, yes. You need to make sure you say open-ended phrases or give open-ended questions so that that person that you're interacting with can build on what you just said. Okay? So if Prentice said, if I said, Prentice, hey, did you go to that party last night? Prentice shouldn't just say no. Prentice should say, yeah, and it was the bomb, man. I was drunk and everything. Like, he needs to keep going. So now you were drunk and what were they serving? Who drove you home? So that I can come back. You can build off of what each other's saying. Alright, and then the last thing, always look for the natural ending or the way to end the scene. It really doesn't matter who ends the scene, but it should not, again, be any long periods of awkward silence. Within that scene, with you going through the dialogue, you should know by dialogue when is the appropriate time to end the scene, right? When the conflict is solved, right? Naturally end the scene, okay? So we're going to start off today. Okay, we're going to start off with improvisational. It's a prop game, okay? So I'm going to lay some props on the stage. Now, these props that I lay on the stage, you know what they are. But when you get with your partner in this scene, they have to change it into something else, okay? Back scratching. And I just brought in random props, okay? She gonna kill me. Sydney is doing eyelashes. Okay? Alright? So, I just want to I just want to get 2 volunteers to come up, okay? Now, we talked about the 3 parts of an improvisation, right? It's 3 parts. You got the beginning, the middle, and the end. I just want 2 volunteers to come up. You're going to pick up a prop, and you're going to begin your improvisational scene. Let's go with no more than 2 minutes. Alright? Remember, before your scene starts, you should kind of when the scene starts, you should kind of give us an inkling of what happened before the scene. So let's say that the scene is, she and I, we're running from the bank. We just robbed the bank. Alright, so when the scene starts, I might sometimes go, hurry up! Don't you hear silence coming? Coming after us! Come on, let's go! Alright, so we should know what happened before the scene starts, alright? She might respond with, oh my God, why we do this? We gonna go to jail for robbing that bank. So now you know, right? We are bank robbers. We are fleeing from the scene. Okay? Now the conflict should be introduced. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Oh God, I think I just dropped my license. I dropped my whole wallet in the bank. Lord Jesus, they gonna know my identity. That's our problem, okay? So you just saw how you know what went on before the scene started. You know who our characters are. You know that what our problem is. And she says, look, we ain't got time for that. We don't get locked up. Let's go. All right? Her need is, let's go. My goal or need is, I want to go back and get my license. Okay? All right. Then obviously we get more into the scene. It becomes more complicated as we're running down the street. I get hit by a car. She keeps going. Okay? She keeps running. Okay? And then her boyfriend pulls up around the corner. He drives her. She jumps in the car. They got a jet waiting at the airport, and they flee the country. And that's the whole scene. Okay? Alright, so I just made that up, okay? That's what I want you to do. Okay? I wasn't even thinking about it. I was just in the moment making this up as I was going along. Okay? Now.
Are you gonna give them like the preface of their scene?
No. I am. After we do props, I am gonna give you. You're gonna draw out of a cup. You're gonna draw some scene starters.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then you're gonna base it off. But for this, let me just see. This just does not have to be a full developed scene. Give me 30 seconds. I just want to see how creative and what you're gonna do with this prop. What you're gonna change it to. Oh yes.
See why they call you Spunky.
That's right.
See why.
Hold up. Check me out.
We both take a prop.
Nope, that's
Can we
your
use all
turn.
of them? Well,
Alright,
that's
so for us.
Alright, bang.
Ready? Look, I really don't even understand why you're making a big deal out of this. Everybody has like a keepsake box or something. Like, why do you want to see what's in mine?
Because I done known you for some time now, and you ain't all the way right, and I don't want to go to jail.
What
I got
do you mean by
warrants.
that? What does that even mean? I don't even.
Listen, I know your background, your Jamaican father, your Haitian mother. I'm not playing no
Are you
game.
implying that I'm like casting spells or something?
I'm
Like, what are you saying?
I'm implying that you're kind of a criminal. Sorry. That cat spells.
First, I don't understand what my dad or any of my family have to do with the shit that I've been through.
Because your box smells like curry chicken.
You don't need to know what's in this box is the bottom line of it, okay? At the end of the day, I have to have a private life just like you do. Like, why do you want to invade my
Listen.
privacy? You shouldn't even been going through my closet.
First of all, I wouldn't have went through your closet if you ain't take my drawers and I had to look for my drawers.
Why was
Couldn't
you
find
in
my
the
drawers.
closet?
You was hanging up my drawers earlier. I figured you were doing the laundry. You might have put my drawers in the closet.
Now find a way to naturally end the scene.
All right, look. If you really want to see what's in this box, you're going to have to give me something.
I thought you would.
Who is going next? Come on. That was a great icebreaker. Thank you. All right.
That was good. Hey, man, what you got there, big homie?
It's my mom's herb, bud.
Man, what happened, man?
Man, she died of cancer a couple weeks ago. My wife hid this junk from me. I just found it. I don't know how to react. Why would she hide this?
You and your wife been going through some things?
Man, we've been going through stuff. She couldn't wait for my mother to die. She couldn't wait to hide this herb from me. Now I gotta figure out how to deal with it.
Look, I got something in the back.